to the lift. Who's got something good to share? I'm going to share something good. I was supposed to be 35,000 feet in the air on my way to Phoenix today en route to Durango. And because of no crew, I got canceled. I got rerouted through DFW, and that got delayed so much that I wasn't going to make it to Durango anyway. So I canceled the trip so I get to be with my favorite people. Really excited to be here today. Who else has good news to share?
Well, we finally got snow in the continental mountain divide here, and the skiing's been good the last 3 days, and then we're going to go into a high pressure dry spell, which means no good skiing the next few weeks. So people are going to be ready to buy houses. So be ready.
Yes, there's always a silver lining. Who else? Good news.
We had a closing yesterday.
I
That's always
love
good.
that. That's kind of the best news, isn't it? Ryan, I think I saw you at a closing yesterday or the day before, didn't you?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I love closings. Anyone else? Good news.
Yeah, it's been 2 years since my son had Guillain-Barré syndrome and landed in the hospital for a month, and he is, yeah, turning 6 tomorrow and in great shape. So
I love
count my
that.
blessings.
That's awesome, Katie. All right, let's jump in. We've got a bunch of announcements that I want to share. Tomorrow, Lydia Galesh is going to be in Edwards teaching. And if you have questions about this class, see Ryan Richards or Marielle to RSVP. Ryan, do you want to say anything about location or anything?
Yeah, it's going to be in room 242. Right now, we've got 7 participants that are coming. We are going to provide lunch, and and for you, those who don't know, Colorado Mountain College is just right over here next to I-70 and the Wendy's in the gas station, room 242 from 9 to 5. And this is going to be a great course, especially right now when we're in these winter months when we need to be having the right conversations with our sellers and how to win with them. This is going to be a must.
Yeah, let me say something. Put your hand up if in 2026 you would like to take and sell more listings than you did in 2025. Now that's like an intelligence test, folks. Every hand should be up. Everybody wants to take more listings. Here's what Win with Sellers does. Instead of you behaving in a entrepreneurial crazy way, just do the next thing that seems to make sense. Win with Sellers will provide you with a 7-step system to work with sellers, not in an entrepreneurial way, but in a very purposeful way, so that your results are better. Does that make sense? You're going to learn the dialogues that you should have. You're going to talk about pricing. You're going to talk about what to do before you go on the listing appointment. You're going to talk about how to make sure after the listing appointment that they eventually say yes. You're going to talk about what to do when the house goes under contract so that you can get more repeat and referral business, something that we all want. So if you are doing nothing tomorrow except scrolling, change your plan and go to the free class that by the way, it's not really free. It's free for you. It's costing us. Go to the class in Edwards, take the day and do it and make your world a little bit better. On the 30th, Scott Thompson is doing his Zoom MREA book club. You can reach out to Marielle at KLRW 1076 or 889 for details about logging into that. Next week, Wendy Papazan is going to be in Denver. For those of you looking to get leverage to grow your business by adding people this year, that might be a class for you. It's in Denver. It's at Smedra. Every Tuesday, Katie does productivity coaching via Zoom. She's also located in the Frisco office when she's doing that. Contracts with Rod, accountability via Zoom. Email the MCA email if you have questions about that. We've got a couple save the dates. Top of the Rockies, y'all have been invited to an awards brunch on the 4th of March at the Beaver Run Imperial Ballroom, same location as last year. Instead of after ski, we're doing brunch, and then you can ski if we have snow. And that's 10:30 to 12:30. You must RSVP by the 18th of next month in order to so that we can make enough eggs. Mountain Properties, we are doing awards on the 5th of March, and that's going to be at the Harvest Golf Club, also 10:30 to 12:30. If you're an ALC member, your ALC meeting will be in the afternoon of that same day. And I've already sent you invites accordingly, I believe. The regional awards are happening at the Ritz-Carlton Denver on Friday the 6th, and James Shaw will be in Denver at the Legacy Campus on the 25th of March. I know that's a lot of stuff. Folks, we're compiling a vendor list. We sent everyone an email asking you to tell us your favorite vendors so that we can promote those vendors and make everyone's lives easier so that we don't have to have the constant who's got an electrician. And we got 2 responses. We would like to actually have a full list for all of our locations. The survey that we sent you last week just got resent to you. Don't ignore it. Please give us a great vendor. And I know some of you are hiding it because you don't want everyone to find out about your electrician. Please help us help each other. Also, we are almost finished with our cool new website, which I'm very excited to launch. It is fully built, and now we are filling it with good content. Ryan and Leslie are working hard to fill it with great stuff. We need your bios, your headshots in either JPEG or PNG format, and your contact information. And you need to email them to the MCA Marielle, Top of the Rockies, KLRW 1076, Vale, KLRW 889. If you don't send us a headshot and a bio and contact information, we can't include you on the website because there's nothing worse than a website that has 50% of the agents with good looking photos and the other 50% of the agents with stick figures. You know what I'm talking about? It's got to look good. We're not putting up ugly. Send us your pictures. Any questions about that? Heather Nolting, my wife, is going to be calling you this week if we don't have your headshot, your bio, and your contact information. And she's like a dog on a bone when it comes to helping us get things done. So she's going to keep calling you until we get it.
Lewis.
We've got a bunch of great things coming up at this meeting going over the next few months. Next week, David Heine is going to be talking about social media and how to improve your look on social media so that you get more eyes on your page and therefore more clients in your car or at kitchen tables so that you can take more buyers and sellers. Jeff Abel is going to be presenting on the 10th. Jeff, I can't remember what we're talking about on the 10th. Did we decide yet? Jeff's
We're going to be
looking for
talking
you.
about win-win negotiations.
We're going to be talking about negotiating, a great important thing. That's with Jeff on February 10. John Prescott is going to be a former director of Bold, Maps coach, lots of accolades, OP in many markets. John's going to be talking about nailing pricing so that your listing sells fast. And he's also going to be talking about nailing pricing the second time in case you need to make an adjustment. So you don't want to miss that on the 17th. His lovely wife, Holly Prescott, is going to be talking about how to present your listing presentation better so that people say yes. And that's on the 3rd. Chris Lengquist is going to be talking about AI on March 10th. And that's all I'm saying for now. We have great content coming in March as well, but a bunch of awesome things. We are not meeting on the 24th because many of us will be at family reunion. Katie, give us some tips.
Great. So I have 7 tips for how to lead generate by doing what you love. Today, I'm just going to share 3. And then if you want to pop into the coaching session this afternoon just to check out what we're doing. Then you can gather the other four then. So, cold calling is not for everyone. It's like pulling teeth. So let's do what you like. Are you a dog walker? Do you like to read books? Are you into fitness or skiing? Figure out a way to plug into local communities that are doing what you like, hiking groups or a community garden, something like that. So those are tips 1 and 2. And then 3 is be authentically social. So you don't want to be a salesperson. You just want to focus on building those real relationships rather than talking, pitching real estate. Join me later today. Thanks.
Okay, awesome. And looking forward to that session later, Katie. We want to celebrate some closings, campers, contributors, and specifically what we're talking about today from the regional rally yesterday. We've got some top of the Rockies people to celebrate. Jamie Callahan was number 8 in our region of 3,000 people on his closed sales volume for December. He did almost 4 million in closing. So great job, Jamie. Solo agent. Signature Home Team up in Estes. They were number 4 in closed units for teams. They were number 4 for closed volume, and they were number 3 for GCI of 91,121. Awesome month, Jeff and Julie and team. The Vega team was number 9 in closed units with 9 units. I think I saw Vicente earlier. Congrats, Vicente and team. And here's really interesting and exciting news. Top of the Rockies for the second time this year hit the leaderboard for market centers. We have 20 market centers in the region. And quite frankly, folks, Vail and Summit County are 2 of the smallest. And yet last month, Top of the Rockies was number 4 out of 20 market centers, beating market centers with 200 folks with $37.3 million in closings. So that's really awesome. I love that. Tyler Shields is here, and I'm really excited about this. Tyler Shields is a top agent in Denver. Tyler has expansion teams also around the country, specifically in Phoenix, and we're excited that he's here to share with us. I got to figure out how to turn this sharing off. Hold on a second.
Excited to be here, guys. Thanks for having
Tyler,
me.
take it away.
I love it. I love it. Guys, I'm pumped. Those actually that our numbers have updated a little bit since I last sent that bio. We just hit in November. We hit $1 billion in volume sold since 2016. So we are super excited. And in September, we launched our 3rd location in Las Vegas. So we're now in Denver, Phoenix, and Las Vegas. And so Russ asked me to talk, and I love when people kind of give me a little bit of freedom to just kind of, what do you want to talk about? And so I think specifically he asked, like, what's been top of mind? What have you been excited to teach lately? And I've been thinking a lot lately about leadership. So I want to talk a little bit about leadership. But before you roll your eyes back in your head and you're like, well, I'm not leading anybody, so I'll just zone out. I want to make a really important distinction. You guys get a lot of trainings. And when I say you guys, I mean me too. We get a lot of trainings on sales, but not a ton of training on leadership. And I think it would be pretty honest to say that sales is leadership when done well. That you guys are all leaders. Even the individual agent that's just working clients and they do everything themselves, you are a leader. You lead your clients. And I think leadership training is as relevant to us as sales training. So I want to talk a little bit about leadership today, if that's okay with you guys. And I believe that we all can improve our service and our business and our value when we improve our leadership. Okay? So first of all, let me share with you my really, really simple definition of leadership. My really, really simple definition of leadership is taking someone from here to there. That's it. Leadership is taking someone from here to there, right? They're not just going from here to there on their own. You are leading them from here to there. You're bringing them from here to there. That's it. Taking someone from here to there. Now, let me ask really simply to see if you guys are awake this morning. If leadership is taking someone from here to there, what would be some necessary ingredients of leadership? I promise this is not complicated. What's necessary for a leader to take someone from here to there? What are the elements that make up that equation?
Communication.
Sure, absolutely. Communication. I mean, even simpler than that. Like, what are the elements that I've even already said?
Yeah. Define where they want to go.
Yes, there needs to be a there, right? If you don't know where there is, you're not leading someone, right? So we need to know where there is. If they know where there is and we don't know, spoiler alert, they're leading us. We're not leading them. Okay? There needs to be a clearly defined there. What else? That was a great answer. What else?
Motivation.
Motivation. Yep, I think that's true. Yep. There needs to be some why should we go there, right? There needs to be helping them get there. Communication is a part of that. Make sure they understand how to get there.
How
Yep.
we'll know when we get there.
What was that?
How will we know when we get there?
Yep. That is A, clearly defining where there is, and then B, clearly defining how we're measuring when we know we're there. Yep. Yep. I think the other things that are probably so elementary you guys won't even say because you're too smart for this is just think about all the ingredients. There's a there needs to be a here, there needs to be a leader, and there needs to be someone you're leading. Okay? Does that make sense? Those are the four basic elements. You guys were all going to 201, which is great. You're super smart. But just think about that really simply. In order to lead, you need to have someone to lead. There needs to be a leader who's engaged in leading, and there needs to be a here. Where are they at now? Need to understand where they're at now in order to know where to get to, right? Like Google Maps is not going to tell you how to get where you need to go if it doesn't know where you're at, right? So we need to know where they're at. We need to know where they're going. And then all the other things you said are true. Consistent, we need communication. We need to clearly define there. We need to know when we're there, right? Now, here's what I want to say. The key in leadership is how do you get them from here to there? What is your strategy to get them from here to there? Okay? Now, there are a lot of bad leaders out there. But I'm here, and there might even be some in this room. But I'm here to tell you, leadership is a skill. The downside of that is you might be bad at it. And the good side of that is you can get better at it. Okay? So, bad leaders, the way that they get someone from here to there is they stand at there and they yell at them to come on. Right? They say, come on, I'm here. What are you doing? Get over here. What's your problem? Right? Bad leaders stand up there and yell at the people to come here. Or bad leaders, maybe they're smart enough to start at here, but they never turn around. They just walk to there and assume the people are with them. Right? So in this metaphor, what is good leadership then? What does a good leader do in this metaphor? If they don't stand there and yell at them to come, and they don't start it here and just walk and never look back, what does a good leader do in this metaphor? What would you guys say?
Meet them where they're at.
So meet them, which in this metaphor, where they're at is defined as here. So you're going to meet them here. And then what's the next aspect of that?
Take them with you.
Take them with you. Yeah. So if leadership is taking someone from here to there, leading someone from here to there, then good leadership is meeting them at here and walking with them to there. Does that make sense? Now, I know this is really, really basic. This is really simple, but I like to try to make things as simple as possible because I'm not good at understanding them complicated. So, as simple as I can make it, this is leadership. Now, to go beyond just this level of leadership strategy, because leadership is sales, and any lesson relevant to leadership will be relevant to sales, I want to teach you one of my favorite models about leadership. And it comes from someone who spoke at Rocky Mountain Summit just a couple years ago. John Maxwell has a book called The 5 Levels of Leadership. And I'd love to walk through that. If you've heard it before, then I'd love to remind you of it. If you've never heard it, I'd love to tell you it for the first time. And as we walk through this, I'd like for us to specifically think how this applies to us as real estate agents. Okay? So what I love about, can you guys see this? I presume you can. Okay. The 5 levels of leadership. Now, what I love about this model is it acknowledges that not all leadership is the same. We can lead from different positions. Okay? And so what you should read on the 5 levels of leadership is the further up in the triangle you go, the more mature and the more effective your leadership is. And the further down the triangle you are, the less mature and the less effective your leadership is. Okay? So the first place that you can lead from is position, right? So that's, I'm your agent, so you got to do what I tell you to, right? Why should you do what I say? Because I'm a real estate agent. I have a license. I have a position. I have a title. So you should do what I say, right? Right? Or probably the most common use of position is parenting, right? Like, why? Why, Dad? Why should I do that? Because I said so, and I'm your dad, so you should do what I say, right? Sometimes it gets a little ugly. You have to resort to positional leadership as a parent. I get it. Been there. Okay, but leading from a position is the least mature, least effective place we can lead from. So as agents, we're not just leading from, I have a real estate license, so you should follow me, right? Probably the most common way that agents make this mistake is with their sphere. They expect that everyone in their sphere is going to work with them simply because they got a license. Spoiler alert, some people will. Your mom probably will. But your sphere is not, all your sphere is not going to work with you just because you have a real estate license. Why? Because that's the least mature form of leadership, right? So when we move beyond that, the next one is pretty simple. They're not just leading because of your title, that they're following you because they want to, right? There's permission, there's a relationship there, and they want to follow you, and that's why they're leading, right? I would say in real estate, permission is usually the baseline where most of us are working with our clients, because I don't know if any of you get clients assigned to you against their will, but I don't think that really happens in our industry. So for the most part, most of the clients we're working with are working with us because they want to work with us, right? Because they raise their hand. Now, if we want to get more people to raise their hand, then we should move up this ladder and more people will want to work with us. But for the most part, when we interact with the client, very rarely are we interacting with someone who doesn't want to work with us. But I'm sure if any of you have worked outside of real estate, and probably even sometimes within real estate, you have worked for someone that you didn't want to work for, but you had to work for because of the title they had. We've had that before. Obviously not Russ. Not Russ. Russ is awesome, right? But we all know that person. So the next level is they want to work, right? Now, the level above that, they follow you because of production, right? They follow you because of production. They follow you because of what they've seen you can do, right? So this is kind of like they're following you because of what they've seen you've been able to do for other people, right? So a past client works with you because they see the way that you've helped other people, right? They're like, I see how you helped Sally get that house, and so I want to work with you, right? So that production, or it could be, I see your proof of production. I see your mailers. I see your farming mailers where you tell me you're selling all these homes, or I see your open house signs. You must be producing a lot, so I'm going to work with you. People work with you because they perceive you're doing business and production, whether it be for other people they know or just in general, right? I talk about this a lot with working with Sphere. They won't work with you just because you have a license. But the level above that is when they start seeing that you're actually doing business and you're a productive agent, they're going to be that much more likely to work with you because they see people are working with you, right? Even beyond that is they're going to be more likely to work with you when someone they know has worked with you, right? So really that sphere is you're doing nothing but you have a license, the least mature way to try to attract someone to work with you. And then beyond that is you are doing production, not necessarily with people they know, but you're doing production and so they want to work with you. Beyond that is you're doing production with people they know and they're excited, right? That's that proof of production. Okay? Beyond that, now, if you are a team leader or a broker, think about this in terms of leading your organization. People at this level, level 3, are following you because of the real estate results you've personally gotten. They see that you've closed 30 deals a year and they want to do that level of production, so they're going to follow you. Okay? That's level 3. There are better ways to lead, but that can work. People will look at what you've done and they'll want to follow you. The step beyond level 3 is level 4, people production. What this means is in real estate, they're going to follow you because of what you've done for them. Now, this is a repeat client. This is someone who you have helped them in the past, and they're coming back to you because you've helped them before, and they know you can help them, right? They see the way that you've helped them, what you've done for them, and so they will follow you. Now, if there's anyone here that's relatively new to leadership, but you've met people, but you have relationships with people or relationships from a past job or different industries, level 4 can still work even if what you've done for them personally is not within real estate. Because really the service you sell is yourself and the qualities of you. So if you're brand new to real estate, but people trust you because of how you led them in other industries, you can still lead from level 4. You can still say, do you remember when I led you in this way and I did this for you? So I will do that again for you in real estate, right? You can lead from, do you remember what I've done for you? Thus, I can lead again. Now, slightly different metaphor. If you're a broker or a team leader, level 4 is not people following you because of your production. Level 4 is people following you because of what you've helped other people do. Okay? So I want you to think about this as a team leader. Who would you rather follow? Me saying, join my team because I've closed 30 deals a year and I can help you do the same. Or me saying, join my team because I've closed 30 deals a year and I've helped 3 other people close 30 deals a year, so you should join my team, right? Obviously, the latter's more effective, right? Because everyone's going to think I'm special and I close 30, but it's not duplicatable. But if I prove to them I've done it with other people, they'll be more likely to follow. That's a more mature form of leadership. It doesn't mean it's invalid to lead from production, but it's even better to lead from what have I done for them and what have I done for others. Okay? And then level 5 moves beyond production. It goes to who you are and what you represent. Someone follows you not because they have to, not even because they wanted to reach out, not because of what you've done, not because of the production you've helped other people get, but because of who you are and what you stand for. You've shown up time and time again as a person who's proven the qualities and core values of who you are. And because of that, people follow you, right? Because of your honesty or your communication, or just because you are known as that type of person, that person that they want to be around, they want to work with, they reach out to you because of who you are and what you represent. And this works for clients and this works for leaders. We've all kind of heard about what is your reputation, right? What is your business reputation? We build a reputation over time, right? And if that reputation is bad, then people will actively avoid you. And if it's good, people will want to work with you simply because of who you are and what you represent. Now, you have every opportunity to disprove them when they interact with you in person, or to prove that they're right for what they assume about you when you interact with them in person. People might have seen you in passing, work with a few clients, or maybe teach some classes, and they go, man, that person's awesome. That person seems to represent everything that I would have ever thought. And then when they come and meet you in person, or they interact with you in person, you can either support all of that with that interaction, or you can tear it down, right? This happens a lot with kind of the celebrity we have this idea of who someone is, and then we meet them, and then it's not actually true. But these are like the classic 5 levels of leadership. And I think if you truly think about how they apply to real estate, then you can understand, what position am I tempted to come from? Am I tempted just to come from position? Am I tempted to come from just personal production? Am I tempted to come from what I've done for others? Just this should help you understand what is a more mature and a more effective form of leadership. Generally, what I've helped do for you and what I've helped do for others is going to be better than just what I've done, right? That metaphor could be, I've bought 3 houses, so you should help me. You should let me help you buy a house. Or it can be, I've helped 3 other people buy houses, so you should let me help you buy a house, right? Okay, so that's the base level of this model. Now, question for you guys: where do you guys see as your opportunity? Like, where do you see, like, if there's a level that you feel like you're most commonly coming from, thus that next level is the opportunity for you to level up. Where would you guys, if you're just willing to be honest and be vulnerable, we're not all level 5 leaders here, I know that. So what level do you feel like you're probably most commonly coming from, whether that's with clients or with just your leadership roles, and where do you see as your opportunity to level up? Who'd be willing to share? What do we think?
Tyler, hey, I'll jump in.
Yeah, awesome.
I think it varies on the role you're in and kind of where you are in that moment, right? I think it's no matter how good of a leader you are, if you're not intentional and you're tired, you're having a bad day, you can revert back to number 1 really, really easily.
Yeah.
And so I think you can be at different levels with different groups of people, with your team, with your spouse, with your clients, and a lot just depends on what's going on that day, and how intentional you're being about it.
I think it's a good way to think about it. It's not like you permanently matured to some level, but it's like, what is that level that you most commonly revert to when you're having a bad day, right? Like, it could be all the way down to the bottom, and it could be position. Maybe it's permission, and you're like, listen, I probably don't usually drop to 1, but there are plenty of times where I'm like, who just wants to follow me, and that's who I'm going to lead, right? If you think about like running a team, I think in the beginning, like, I just basically was excited if someone raised their hand and they were willing to join my team. Like, the qualification was, you want to join the team? Great, you're in. Right? Like, you want me to lead you? Obviously, that I'm here to tell you that should not be your only qualification. Same thing with clients. Simply them wanting to work with you shouldn't be the only qualification, whether they get to work with you or not. But yeah, we all revert backwards on the rough days. You're totally right. Totally right. Yeah, what other thoughts would you guys have? Or maybe just even ahas in general, kind of processing these levels.
Tyler, I think when you run your business based on relationships, I feel like you kind of over time naturally will fall into 5. And it's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's obviously something you got to put in the reps. But if your goal is relationship over transactions, I think people feel that about you, and you gravitate to the 5.
I think you're totally right. 5 is not something you can just walk into overnight. Like, it's really hard to just insta build a reputation, right? And I do think it happens over time. And you get a lot of opportunities to tear that reputation down with how you back it up, right? I see this a lot, like with training. I think doing enough trainings, there's this reputation that gets built about who I am, but I can very easily tear that down or build that up when I have one-on-one interactions or one-on-one phone calls or actually do a deal with an agent, right? They could be like, man, I thought that Tyler guy was awesome, but then we did a deal together and jeez, right? We've all had those interactions, I think. And so we have those opportunities to tear it down, right? Yeah, I think that's really wise. The other thought I just had, which I'll just say, it is possible in real estate to manufacture a reputation quickly. Like they've done studies where they take a neighborhood and they poll them and they say, hey, who's your agent? And they all give different answers. And then they run an 8x8 marketing campaign, 8 touches in 8 weeks of an imaginary person of a real estate agent. And then after 8 weeks, they say, who's your agent? And the majority, not the majority, but the highest number of people say that imaginary agent, right? Why? Because the 8x8 built a reputation for that person, right? Now, it's not going to last if they don't back it up, but you can build reputation, not just by what you do, but if you're working in secret, it's going to take a lot longer to build that reputation than if you're making it known what you're doing for others, right? There's a balance there. You got to back it up. It's got to be genuine or it won't last long. But there is effort to make it known what you're doing so that people follow you from that position, right? Yeah. What else? Any other thoughts or ahas on this?
I just want to add quickly, if when Tyler said 8x8, your brain went, what in the world is that? Page 146 of this book, which everyone should have, what he's talking about is systematically communicating with people until they can't forget your name. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Until they can't forget your name. That's what that's about. So thank you for referencing that, Tyler.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's the baseline of what I had today. I think my wrap-up thought, and then I don't know if you guys have questions or what you guys do to wrap up the meeting, but you guys be welcome to ask me any questions. I'm an open book. But my wrap-up thought is just, if you can change your brain to understand that sales is leadership in its best form, then every single piece of leadership content is for you, right? Not because you have people under you, you're managing people, but because sales is leadership in its best form. And so what I presented today is just one of a million different books and podcasts and pieces of content around leadership. I highly recommend that if you are in sales, you are in leadership, consume every piece of leadership content you can. It will be relevant to your business and to your sales and in every part of your life. So that's what I have. I don't know if people have questions or how you want to wrap up, but
any questions for Tyler? Anyone? We got a guy that sold $1 billion of real estate sitting here. Any questions for that guy? Tyler, I'm curious. You've got 6 kids, right?
7 now.
7 kids. All right, I lost count. You've got 7 kids. You're
Okay,
running a major business in Denver. You've got additional locations. How do you manage your day in your life?
It's a really good question. First of all, let me say sometimes very poorly. So that's just how it happens.
Thank you for the honesty.
Yeah. Sometimes terribly. Sometimes I'm a victim of just what's going on that day. And I think the best way to ensure success, if you have a lot going on, is really good people around you who don't let you completely drop the ball. Like my wife is a superhero. And so if I completely drop the ball on being a parent that day or a spouse, she's going to remind me and she's going to pick up the slack, right? At business, I have great business partners where if I drop the ball that day, like right now, I have a team meeting going on that I'm not there at because I got awesome leaders who are running it for me, right? And we're willing to do it. So I think really it's really hard to lead at a high level if you don't have great people and don't trust them to do what they do. That's really the only way you can ever level up is you got to have great people underneath you and you got to trust them to do their thing. And that's really.
And back to your point on leadership, it's hard to have great people under you if you're a poor leader.
Yeah.
Because you're only going to hire to your level of leadership.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have to. I mean, what I found over the years to be able to keep awesome people is you have to, something that Gary has said a lot, build a world big enough that their dreams and their world can fit within it. And then you have to be able to empower them. Like you have to be able to truly understand you don't have a monopoly on good ideas and sometimes you're wrong and give them the power to say you're wrong. And they have to truly believe you're not going to screw them over. I think it is that simple. I've heard them say that over and over again. We're still here because we know Tyler's not going to screw us over. He's going to do what's right by us. And they have to perceive that, and that has to be true.
Love that. Leslie's got to say, going to ask a question, I think.
I am. Hey, we always hear Relevate under expansion teams. Can you talk a little bit about like what exactly an expansion team is and why you've decided to go into 3 different cities, 3 different markets, and how you have done that in 3 minutes or less?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So really simply, a team, or at least what a team should be, is an organization where agents are their clients, right? That a team adds value to agents, and in return, agents give them money, right? And hopefully they're adding enough value that whatever the agents are paying is worth it. So at a core, what a team does really well is add value to agents to help them get where they want to go. Leadership, right? And so when you do that well, there are going to be people not just in your area that want that. And I think that's what expansion is not just here, but also somewhere else. But what I will say is when you are really good at adding value, not just agents want it, but team leaders want it. People who run a team want the value that you can offer their agents. And thus, that's what expansion becomes, is someone raises their hand and they go, I am running a team. I want to start a team and I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I like the value that you offer your agents. How do I give that to my people in Phoenix? And I go, great. We become co-owners in your team. I provide the value to your agents that I provide to my agents. We become business partners and we split the profits. And that at its core is, I think, what a really good expansion model is. At least that's how we approach it. There's a broad definition of what teams are out there, so I don't ever mean to offend anyone else's definition or how they do it. But at its core, that's all it is. That's what we do. So, and it kind of gets behind the idea of exponential impact. Like if I'm working with, I really value exponential impact in the world. And so what I realized pretty quickly is I can't have the total amount of impact I want if I'm the only one working with agents. So then I realized I can have more impact if I'm coaching agents who are working with clients. But then I realized I could have even more impact if I'm coaching team leaders who are coaching agents who are coaching clients. And that's how the model expanded. So.
I love that. Tyler, thank you so much. We'll see you in Atlanta in a few weeks, right?
Yep, I'll be there.
All righty. Okay, thank you all for being here. I want to just share a couple more things really quickly. So you heard Katie earlier. She shared 3 out of 7 tips. If you want the other 4, today at 1 o'clock, you can be on the Productivity Coaching Zoom or go to the Frisco office. If you want to do the Zoom, it's kwsummitzoom.com. And we'll get that into the Vail calendar. I realized today that it's not there, and I apologize for that. The password for it is KWTOTR, and you can email Marielle if you want those details. We will see you all next Tuesday, same time, same place. David Heine, social media. Hope everyone has an awesome day. Take care. Stay warm. Bye.